Hi, welcome to Business Television. This is Talking Business. Today we'll be looking at the Soros Economic Development Fund, what it's been doing in Africa and what impact it's been making in the African business community. To help me do that is Thomas from Soros Economic Development. Hello, Thomas, welcome to Talking Business.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Good. Are you enjoying your stay in Ghana?
Yes, very much, very much. It's also not my first day, so I'm doing a lot of work here.
That's great. But Thomas, let's go back to the subject of Soros Economic Development Fund. I mean, you've been in existence for quite some time, but I guess the core mission of SEDF should be made known to Ghanaians who are greatly benefiting from your for your investment funds.
Yeah, the mission of our fund, of the Soros Economic Development Fund, is really to promote economic opportunities for underserved populations, in mainly in Africa today. What does this mean? We would like to enhance access of such populations to information, to services, to products, to basically make a small contribution to improve their lives. And that's the overall mission of our activity.
So which of the development projects are very key to your fund?
You know, the way we realize our mission is that we would like to find partner companies in which we invest. It can be loans, it can be also equity. We would like to support those enterprises in order to grow. What we require from those enterprises is that they have a social mission and a good business plan. And the social mission goes around creating jobs, creating for the clientele of those business a certain better service, and in the end, good people who really, can implement this.
But I've seen that, your interest is on post-conflict countries. I mean, which are some of the countries that really interested you when you were starting up? And why the post-conflict countries?
That's very interesting. The history of SEDF started actually 20 years ago in Eastern Europe, which was at that time a post-conflict country, countries. George Soros himself is Hungarian, so he chose Eastern Europe at that time. And about 10 years ago, we moved into Africa. I think at a time when a number of African countries came out of relatively difficult phases and entered a more phase of stability. Yeah? And therefore, we choose countries like South Africa, Mozambique, Ghana, Liberia recently, and Sierra Leone in order to work there.
Now let's focus on Ghana. I mean, I guess we are in Ghana, so I guess the focus should be on Ghana. What are some of the investment commitments that you've made in Ghana? And then after Ghana, I mean, what are some of the investment commitments that you're making in all the African countries that you are involved in?
We have right now a total of 15 projects in Africa, which we actively follow, in which we have invested. And the countries in which we're working today is Mozambique, is South Africa, is Zimbabwe, is Sierra Leone, and Ghana. We are looking quite actively also at Nigeria and Liberia currently. Yeah. In Ghana itself, we are very active. We have 3 projects going. The first project is called Isoko. It's headquartered here in Accra, and it provides for basically the entire of sub-Saharan Africa a mobile service for smallholder farmers. And this mobile service should give the smallholder farmers better information on seeds, on prices, on practices with fertilizers, and on prices to sell their corn in order to help them to be more productive. Yeah, that is our investments in Isoko, which we are following here. The second investment is actually only centered around agriculture, the other 2 projects. The second investment is called Injaro. That's an investment fund which only specializes on agricultural projects, which means they support seed farmers to produce better seeds. They have projects where they substantially give better technical assistance to farmers. And it's a very, very good team, which Ghanaian people who came back to the country after a long time abroad and to want to build this up. And the third project, which is really interesting and on which we are very proud of, is called GADCO. GADCO it's actually the biggest rice farm in Ghana, in the Volta region. This rice farm includes a rice mill, which makes it possible to grow the rice, to dry the rice, and to basically also choose among the various qualities of rice, and to have in the end a ready-made product for the retailer. Mm-hmm. And the rice we produce there should really substitute import rice from Asia, really benefiting, I think, A, the local people, and B, should benefit, the overall economy. Yeah. And GADCO is a huge project. We have already now cultivated almost 1,000 hectares, and the money we are giving now, that's really huge, yeah. And we want to extend GADCO with another 1,000 hectares. The interesting thing also with GADCO is we have, including this, a project for smallholder farmers, where a group of people from GADCO gives advice to those smallholder farmers, gives them fertilizer, gives them better seeds, and the smallholder farmers can deliver their rice to our rice mill by doing so they have a market, and this is very important for smallholder farmers, that they have a market to whom they can sell to. So it's a very, very good project for us, because we see a very good economic base in agriculture, and we see clearly a social goal being in the process to be fulfilled.
I mean, that's very key, because Ghana has an appetite of eating foreign rice. We know the amount of money we spend in importing rice into the country is over $800 million, dollars every year, and I believe such a project will. But one key thing that we might want to know is whether the rice produced from the farms will be able to meet the high taste. Ghanaians love foreign rice. Yeah. What's the quality?
Yeah. What we do at this rice mill is that we basically can distinguish between, let's say, the great quality of rice, and basically, make a process, have a process there in place which really produces this type of quality. And then we have also lower qualities of rice, which is called broken rice, which we then sell by other means. But we make sure that we have A, the process in place to produce such rice of really import quality, and B, we make sure that we hopefully can enhance every year the percentage of this rice produced.
That's a wonderful idea. But for anybody to be receiving funds from SCDF, definitely there should be some criteria that you need to really conform with. Yeah. Are they very stringent, difficult criteria to, and how applicable is it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we want to invest in areas centered around 3 industry sectors, which is agriculture, the second is finance, and the third is logistics. And this is based on the philosophy that agriculture is important for food, finance is important that people, for example, can open a bank account. That's right. And Ghana, for example, has 70% of the people of Ghana don't have a bank account. That's right. And thirdly, logistics has to do with delivery of products. If you look at the general statistics, the transport of goods is in Africa much more expensive than any other place of the world, which means logistics is a very important thing in order to deliver services and products. Yeah? That's from the beginning. So those 3 sectors, one of those 3 sectors must be met. The second thing is that we want to look together with management teams and businesses which have a clear social mission. The social mission can be create so many jobs, process so much food, enhance the banking environment, give people access to money, goods and services. This is a very clearly social mission, which we address very directly in our discussion with certain companies we want to work with. And also, what we would like to see, and this goes hand in hand, is that we need a good business plan in order to fulfill the social goals, but also to make sure that the company we're investing in will have economic success. Yeah? We believe that only economic success can, in the longer term, actually generate the social goals. So we are not an organization who give grants to resolve, some money problems in the near future. Our fund wants to bring money to the table to develop very sustainable, long-term successful businesses. And this has a lot to do with the quality of the management team. Yeah? It's very important to have, the CEO of a business must be of great quality, of great strength, must be working hard. He must be able to attract good people, to have a good team in order to fulfill that.
But I think your investment in Ghana is only looking at 3 companies. Has any Ghanaian company applied for some sort of funding from you where he's not been able to meet your criteria as spelled out?
No, this has not yet happened. I think as we have now a presence of 3 companies, I think we become more known and people are more seeking us, as we are, let's say, more often physically here in Ghana. I think we also increasingly meet people, and we are definitely looking at area of finance, logistics and agriculture. We definitely would like to enhance our investment base.
I might want to ask this question. It might sound a little bit too nosy, but I really want to know where your source of funds are coming from.
So we are backed by George Soros, a very
renowned, businessman, very rich person in the United States.
A very rich person who made all his fortune in the United States, who is actually spending a lot of also donations via his Open Society Foundation to work on a number of issues like human rights and labor rights. Attached to Open Society Foundation is the Soros Economic Development Fund, which he backs basically as the cornerstone and only investor. So we have the luxury now that we don't have to always explain our investors what to do. We have to explain it to one person.
That's key. But as an impact investor, is SEDF being able to meet your financial and then social objectives?
I would say, along the way you learn. We had, like anybody, I think in this space, we had successes, and we also learned from cases which did not go so well, I'm really confident that, the current projects are on a good way, and I'm really confident that we can do, in particular with the growing stability in Africa, that we can really do an even better job over the next 5 to 10 years.
So are investors also willing to accept lower returns for the purpose of their social benefit?
Yes, we are by US law tax exempt, and this means we have clearly to demonstrate social goals. Yeah? And this means also that we demonstrate by our numbers that we are not, so to say, with our rates completely in the market. For example, if we give a US dollar loan to some entity in Africa, the rate of interest is lower than market. And it has to be lower than market because of our social mission. Yeah? So we are compromising on returns, but we want to have returns. Okay. Because otherwise it would be grants. And we are not giving grants.
I am so much of interest in agribusiness because one of the key contributor to Ghana's GDP years ago was agribusiness. It really was a key factor in most of the things that we do. If you look at now, it's food security is very key in most economies. Why do you shift interest? What are the real reasons for moving into agribusiness, if you want to talk about that?
Agriculture is for us, for two reasons important. First of all is food security. Yes. We want to provide a better base that basically people can eat, very simply said, and we want to create a better base that people can eat well or better than a couple of years ago. So we want to make some contribution to that. I think by creating a case like GetGo, we also want to show others that this is possible here in Ghana. And we hope that others will try to realize similar projects, because I think one GetGo is nice, but I think Ghana needs basically 20 GetGos in order to really to have, to substitute rice imports. Yeah? And this would be our dream, that people follow.
Yeah. Another key challenge perhaps in Africa, all over Africa, is the fact of marketing. You could have most of the agri products that we produce just getting spoiled at the farmlands, farm gates. I do not see what perhaps you can envisage or want to do to support in terms of in marketing, packaging, pricing, and all that for our agri products.
I think first of all, you are absolutely right. We really believe that we have to look at the entire sector. You could call it even food / agriculture. The entire chain, basically, from the farmland to the retail shelf. Yeah? Actually, on GetGo, one of the partners is a marketing company, and they help us, basically to create a good brand for our product and to enhance our chance to sell it in the Ghanaian retail.
You know, it's quite interesting when we talk about agriculture, because we in Africa, we know the contribution it makes. There's so much poverty in most African countries. However, we have the abundance of land. I mean, are you looking only at rice farms, or you could perhaps in the near future look at expanding some product where we could even export them outside the country?
Yeah. So, for example, one thing we are looking at as a almost sector is the whole area of poultry farming. Yeah. Most chicken in Africa are imported, which is amazing because chicken can grow also in Ghana or other Africa.
Yes, that's right.
It's a matter of,
I mean, every Ghanaian eats rice and chicken.
Yeah. So I think if you have a good poultry business, a good poultry production base, you can easily also export this. Yeah? Brazil is a good example for that. Brazil has a fantastic poultry industry, and they are one of the key exporters of poultry of the world.
Mm. Truly, can you tell us that Africa, and especially Ghana, is benefiting directly from SEDEF investment?
No, I think in particular with the Njaro Agricultural Fund, which pretty widespread on different agricultural sectors, also giving us a lot of insights on what works and what doesn't work. And the GetGo Farm, I think this is quite a contribution for a small organization like us. What we can give, in particular in the agricultural sector, to the country. And I think we are here to continue that and to do more here in Ghana in our space and in our industry sectors. And we really hope that we can trigger off a few developments, and that other people do follow and hopefully follow the similar.
You know, entering Africa market is not that easy as perhaps, I mean, someone will see you and think, he just came in, and what were some of the challenges that your organization faced when first even thought about Africa and even...
I think there are a few challenges. The first challenge, and this is so to say built in the fact that we are a US dollar fund. When we invest in Africa, we have always to think about the currency risk. Yeah, and we have to think about the currency risk even if we give US dollar loans, because the person who has to repay it has in the end to generate it with local currency. That's right. Yeah. So we are certainly worried about this, not only for our sake, but also for the sake of the entrepreneurs we want to back. So that's somehow a thing we are working with every day almost. I think the other are very classical themes of emerging markets, of developing countries. We always look, for countries with a reasonable good education base, with a reasonably good infrastructure in terms of roads, in terms of ports, with a reasonably good infrastructure in terms of internet connectivity, mobile communication, because these are the things which somehow have to work if you want to set up a business. It's very difficult to invest, for example, into a farm and you basically have no road to get there. That's not possible, simply said. And it is very difficult if you have goods to export, but you have to wait for too long time in the port until your merchandise gets exported. These infrastructural things, I think here, and I think we all agree on that. Any government can make an even better contribution to help enterprises and to help local companies as international companies to develop their economic activity here.
You rightly said you're not investing in only Ghana, you're investing in Liberia, you're looking at some other African countries. How are you looking at integrating the services and some of the things that you're doing so that one, for example, if your rice farm here can sell in Liberia, for example, can sell in Sierra Leone, can sell in other African countries where your investments are. How are you, the synergy?
I mean, that's a very great question. So I think we would be a great fan of a more integrated economic zone here in Western Africa, because we have seen this in other parts of the world. Common economic zones create a lot of new opportunities for growth. I think in the first place it's not so obvious, But and Ghana has already a very good case because Ghana has about 25 million inhabitants. A number of West African countries are much smaller, and they have a much harder time to develop themselves. To a certain degree, also in this respect, size matters. Yeah. But certainly, if you would, pull together all the Western African countries and would have a common, for example, a common joint infrastructure from Nigeria up to Sierra Leone, for example, this would be certainly a great benefit. And I think it would be also, on very qualitative terms, a great sign of stability for a whole region where you say, look, we are creating a common market, a common approach to infrastructure. You would have, a highway going from Lagos to Abidjan or whatever. These are those dream projects. I think where I would love that we all together, from governments to international organizations to investment funds, would work on.
So, what are your future investment plan for Africa?
Well, we basically believe in the development opportunity in Africa. We believe it's a good investment opportunity also in Africa. We believe that Africa is, so to say, the last frontier region of the world where you can make a significant difference as an impact investor. And so we are really positive. We are positive for most countries in Africa. We are very positive for Ghana. And we will be more time here.
Oh!
Look for more projects.
Good. But finally, my final question is, George Soros is a great person. We've all known him too. What's his special interest? Do you think that he will still consider Africa as a base for all his investment objectives?
I think he says Africa as the base, as a very, very important base for his Open Society Foundation and for us as Economic Development Fund. He's actually quite often also in Africa. So he's still, beyond the age of 80, travels Africa, as he has a personal interest in that. And I think we are on a very, let's say, clear path also with him, that Africa is the right and a very good place to invest for our fund.
Okay. Thank you very much, Thomas, and thank you for having you.
It has been a great pleasure to talk to you.
Just great. And hope you enjoy your stay here in Ghana, and we'd like to see you again. This is Talking Business on Business Television Africa.